Hey, I am Lordaus, and today I will show you something truly incredible. My viewer witnessed something so weird in Minecraft, and he was recording and wanted to send me videos. I was skeptical at first, but when I started watching, trust me, it is so interesting and unexplained. I was working on a different video, but I stopped once I saw this. That's how interesting this is. Before I show you it, I wanna mention that this footage is never released, so this is gonna be your first time seeing it. The guy who was recording didn't wanna show it to anyone because he thought they're gonna make fun of him and won't believe him. That's why he wanted to remain anonymous. And also, he was recording everything, so there is no way he could have made it up. But of course, I will show you the most interesting parts. Let's begin. First few days everything was normal. He gathered some materials and made a house. Then he went to get some coal and iron. Night fell down, so he killed some mobs and got some more food. As you can see, nothing unusual so far. First signs of weirdness started here. When he came home, the player realized that coal is not in the furnace where he left it. That was first strange thing in this crazy world. The player decided to ignore it. He made a new furnace to smelt iron that he found. He organized his stuff a little bit. Okay, that cool thing could happen. It may be some lag, but the next things was not that easy to explain. Before that, I wanted to show you this. In this moment, this appeared in front of our player. I think that is just corrupted video though. Nothing weird. When you look at it, that looks like when you open inventory, and skin is like our player's one. Most likely just a glitch in the footage, but not so long after, the next thing with the stuff happened. The sand in the chest was spread in it. The player didn't left it like that. This thing you cannot explain easily. But okay, maybe it's another glitch. But literally, what happened after is very unusual. The player made armor from the iron that he smelted. One spider was outside, and the player wanted to test his armor when this happened. The player couldn't hit the spider. He was spamming, but he couldn't damage the spider at all. It was like someone or something wasn't letting him to hit the spider. This has never happened to me in Minecraft. Maybe for a short time when it's lagging, but no matter how long our player was trying, he couldn't hit the spider. And this happened a few more times later in the gameplay, you will see it. But before that, this happened. The player was making a farm, he wanted to get in the house, but the furnaces were literally blocking him. They were placed right behind the door. Now glitches cannot explain this. Maybe the next thing they can. The player realized his farm is destroyed. Everything was on the ground though, so maybe it was just some glitch, who knows. The player finished the farm, and also he placed some saplings in front of the house when this happened. The spider was on his house, spinning like crazy. But I'm not showing you this because of that. Again, the player wanted to hit the spider, but he couldn't. It just wasn't letting him, no matter how hard he was trying. But the next thing is something different. Player wasn't at home. When he came back, his house was set on fire. There was nothing nearby that could start the fire. Maybe this was the first big evidence that he was not alone in this world. I didn't mention this yet. All of this was in a single player survival world. So there is no way this could do some other player. Who did then? Nothing in normal Minecraft could do something like this. Was this world maybe haunted by some entity? Why I say this, you will see very soon. The player started repairing the house with all the materials he had left. And after, he went for a mining when this happened. Sign of some unusual presence. Okay, this is really scary. We could hear some breathing sound. The player heard it too because he reacted, and soon after the video ends. Maybe the game crashed or something, But what is this sound? I never heard it in Minecraft before. I went for a research and I found out that this sound was actually planned to be in the game by Mojang, but they never put it in the game. How then we could hear it in the footage? Very weird. But what is weirder is this. I don't know if you saw this. Before the video ends, we can see someone standing here. What is this? As I said, this is not a multiplayer, so it couldn't be another player. It is like pure black figure standing. Okay, maybe it's some glitch texture of something normal, or just some other light glitch, but it looks so much like some figure. Maybe it is just me. I wanna hear what do you think about this. What could it be? The next video shows our player doing some usual things. Nothing weird at first, but I was paying so much attention in every video to maybe see something that is not obvious. That's how I saw this. Does this hill looks like some face to you? To me, it literally looks like some skull face. Maybe it is just weird terrain generation, who knows. But its shape and the fact it is near the house is really interesting. And yeah, did you realize this? Wood farm is not here. It looks like some explosion destroyed it all. I didn't realize it until this video where we can see our player repairing the ground. He wanted just to fill it with the sand. Few moments later he saw a spider in the distance and wanted to kill it. And very interesting thing is that now he could. Remember how he couldn't hit the spiders 2 times? Now it was different. Was it just a glitch before or not? Who knows? But other things are not that easy to explain, just like the next thing. Player was running near the house when in like less than a second we see this. It was like player was teleported somewhere and he came back in a very short time. We can see the player realized it because he was looking around confused. He couldn't see where he was teleported, but I will stop the frame for you so we can see together. It is some room made of a bedrock. The player was teleported there with the stuff, a room that doesn't exist in the game. How it was there then, and how our player have been there for a moment? This is a big question. I couldn't see anything else weird in that room. Let me know if you saw something. The next thing that happened is once again the player couldn't hit a mob, this time a endermite. First of all, what is it even doing here? And second, why the player couldn't hit it? First time glitch, second time maybe, but 3 times? And also, we can see that it is not a glitch because of this. Endermite can hit a player. Only the player couldn't hit it back. Really strange. And believe it or not, another weird thing with the mobs happened. Now something different. The player was exploring and he came back. His house was full of creepers. The player didn't see it before he opened the door and he was clearly shocked and surprised. They exploded the house and almost killed the player. He was not expecting this. Again, 1 creeper could spawn inside. Maybe 2, but this much? It was like someone on purpose set the trap for the player. But who? Or what? Now it was really clear that this was not a normal world. But believe it or not, our player still didn't want to delete it. He continued playing. He went to get wood to repair the house 1 more time. But when he was getting close to it, all of a sudden he was teleported 1 more time. This time in the void, and for good. It was not for a second this time. Our player lost his stuff and died in the void. He finally decided to leave and delete this mysterious world. Now, what was all of this? What was happening on this world? Do you have any idea? I don't know what is the version of the game, but it's clear that it's older version because of the combat system. So many weird stuff happened. Is it normal? Is it glitches? Or is it haunted, and if so, by who? I have only one idea in my mind. Entity that can teleport the players and do other bad things to players.